It's time for the 3:30 Focus with Ted London, powered by the law offices of Ted London and Associates.
For all that you've done for me, I give my life to you. You, like the covering, you're in every stream, you're in everything, even in my dreams, you're my covering, you're my.
We are back at 3:37. It's time, guys. It is time for the Legal Line with Ted Theodore London. Good afternoon, Attorney London. How are you?
Mr. Atiba, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Man, I am utterly fantastic. You know this is my favorite time of the week.
Well, likewise mine, Atiba.
Yes, it feels longer. It feels like it's been longer than a week. So I'm really glad that you're joining us today, Attorney London. And you brought Jonathan Butler with you.
Yes, he did.
I did. I brought Jonathan Butler back from last week because I had a listener that called and asked, could I play that again this week? And so, I try to adhere to requests. So she made the request. I played it back. So that's The Color Green by Jonathan Butler. Now, in case you didn't know what the color green represents, it represents money, luck, health, renewal, nature, and energy. So the color green is actually a color that we should all try to wrap ourselves around because it represents some great, great things.
Love it, Attorney London. That's a great song, and we appreciate that insight.
Yes. So, I know we have a guest this afternoon, so before we get started, let me just do my little work here and say how much of a pleasure and a privilege it is to be with you guys every Thursday here on the Legal Line, 3:30 until 4 every Thursday. Again, so grateful to be here with you guys. I want to say hello to my wonderful wife who is listening, Kelly. Kelly, I love you very much, dear, and good afternoon to her and to all other folks who tune in every Thursday at 3:30 to the Legal Line. We're so grateful for you as well, and just want to say good afternoon to you also. Now, do we have Mary on the line with us already?
Yes.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So, Miss LaDonna, I didn't say hello to you.
That's okay. Hello, Ted.
Miss LaDonna, how are you? Now, you know what? I have to say this. I have been laughing to myself about a statement that Atiba made a couple of weeks ago, I think when I was rambling, and somehow I called you guys Latiba, and he said I might as well just call you guys Latiba.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So since he has said that, I have not been able to get that out of my mind, and I've been laughing about that ever since he said that. That is so funny to me. But
yeah, it is just fine.
it is fun. And so, so let's get started. We have Miss Mary Green with us, and I'm sure some of you, and many of you, and most of you are familiar with Mary Green. She is the CEO and founder of the Black Women's Expo. And again, the Black Women's Expo is coming up.
That's right.
Not this weekend, but the next weekend, celebrating 30 years. That's what the caller informed us of last week. Women's Black Expo is celebrating 30 years of bringing and presenting black businesses, big and small, to black ladies all over Chicagoland, the Midwest, and even the country. So without any further delays, let's bring on Miss Mary Green. Mary Green, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
We're doing well here, Mary. Welcome, and tell us about what's going to happen this year in the Black Women's Expo.
How much time do you have? This is a 3-day show, as it has been from the beginning, and it is chock full of everything imaginable, from seminars and workshops all day long, entertainment and activations and demonstrations on 2 stages. We're in the North Building Hall B, which is the larger hall where you would normally see the auto show. So we have quite a bit of space. We have new pavilions, culinary, kids corner, a literary cafe, men's den. It is chock full of seminars, workshop, entertainment, activations, demonstrations on our floor, and exhibitors. So tons of small business exhibitors on our floor and corporate sponsors. So it is so much to talk about, I'll be honest with you. But we like to highlight so many of the things that we're doing, and everyone wants to know. Go to our website, bwenext.com, BWENEXT.com, and you can find out everything about the show.
So, let me please forgive me, Mr. T. Let me just throw in a shameless plug here. I am doing a seminar on August 7th, which is Saturday, from 1 and 2 2:30 in the afternoon. It's an estate planning seminar.
Right.
Looking forward to sharing a lot of information with the guests. You know what? So many of our clients are ladies, and so many of our clients who are ladies, they bring their families in. So in the African American community, ladies are the ones who drive the estate planning for the family. So I'm happy and grateful to be there on Saturday. And also on Sunday, I'm going to be part of a panel that's going to be hosted by Brother Carl West. Many of the WVON listeners are familiar with Carl West, and he's going to be hosting a panel on the art of business. And so I'm so grateful to be doing a seminar on Saturday, August 2nd. I'm going to be on the panel August 3rd. And, of course, we're going to have a booth there as well, the law offices of Ted London. We're going to be there, so please be sure to find us. We're going to be next to the sorority pavilion, if you will.
Right.
And so just the same as plug. So Mary, please go back and tell us.
No, we have some wonderful. We along with your sessions, we have some wonderful sessions all weekend long. Everything from finance, health, and wellness, as you have mentioned about the finance, and it's just so much. Our youth summit is on Friday, which will be all day long. We'll be talking to young people about their careers, about education, about their health and wellness. Friday evening, Raheem Devon, the R&B musical artist, will be performing on our main stage around 5 o'clock. We come back on Saturday. We have a town hall meeting called Where Do We Go From Here, featuring Roland Martin to talk about what's happening in this country. He will be joined by some other panelists as well. On Sunday, closing out our show is a string of people from Tamron Hall from ABC News national talk show host will be on our main stage on Sunday afternoon at 3. At 4 o'clock, Marvin Sapp, the gospel artist extraordinaire, will be closing out our show in terms of entertainment. But all weekend long, there are all the exhibitors and all of the activations going on. It's just so much. I mean, from people doing dancing and double dutch to everything, we're allowing the community to be involved. So many not-for-profit organizations are bringing their information to share with our community. So many health organizations, hospitals, Northwestern, University of Chicago Medicine. I mean, they're all there. Zing Health, just all of them. I can't even name all of the health organizations local that will be on site. Gift of Hope. Everybody's doing screenings. African Americans have been, have had an issue with inequity in terms of health. So right after COVID, our show became, full of health organizations that wanted to get before our community. And it's a wonderful thing for us because there's so many things that we, are disproportionately, have to deal with. But a lot of things we don't know enough about. So it has become that platform as well, not only on the business side, but on the health side.
Ms. Green, welcome to the afternoon show.
Thank you.
It is really a pleasure and an honor to speak with you.
Thank you.
I have been to the Black Women's Expo many, many times. And I just wanted to ask you, and by the way, incidentally, LaDonna Ray and I had an opportunity to interview Raheem Devon yesterday.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Okay.
Yes, and he made us aware that I was like, when are you coming back to Chicago? He was like, a couple days.
I got a flyer in my hand,
Next week.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that being said, the Black Women's Expo is now an institution. Did you ever imagine that was that always the vision, or is this smaller, about right, or grander than your imaginings for this?
Well, it's certainly grander than what we imagined. I mean, I was the promotion director at V103 when I, thought I could do this, and went to my bosses at the time and said, let me do an exposition that will be focused on our listening audience, which was 60% women at the time at V103. I was promotion director, and they said, okay, you think you can do this? And I worked with the sales department to come up with the whole strategy for how to, get advertisers to want to be sponsors. We right away rented McCormick. Wasn't easy, was expensive. We right away had to find our own general services contractor. And the night before, I will tell you, we were sitting on the floor in the office late, just basically crying in our suit because it was bigger than we thought it would be just from day one. So, but never thought that it would last this long. I will tell you that. It wouldn't have been anything we could think about. We would do this show for a few years. You work for someone, you come up with a great idea, you do it for a few years. But after a few years, the general manager said, Mary Green, this is your show. Will you take this on the outside and produce it? And we did.
That's beautiful.
So, Mary, tell us, who are some of the primary sponsors this year of the Black Women's Expo?
Wow. Walgreens, of course, has been a primary sponsor, not only because of their, financial support, but they also sell out all of our tickets. So you can get half-price tickets at all Walgreens locations, and we've been fielding calls all day from people who are running into Walgreens now to get those tickets, and so they've been a number one sponsor. Discover, Illinois Lottery, BMO Harris Bank, Fifth Third Bank, Southside Health Center, ComEd. I mean, I could keep going. University of Chicago Medicine.
Sure.
Cairo One, the BLC, the Business Leadership Council, is bringing 5 businesses from their membership to the show this year. This is the first time for them. UNCF, they're PepsiCo, Mariano's. I could keep going. There are so many sponsors, big and small, that make up the show and give us the ability to be at McCormick Place and to provide, low-priced exhibitor booths as well as half-price tickets.
I wanted, just being a woman myself and a business owner myself, there's so many challenges when it comes to us as women coming together collectively for the purpose of elevation. You've built the Black Women's Expo into like one of the most powerful platforms to celebrate. The word empower comes to mind, and elevate Black women just across the country. And in the time that you've done this, our voices are still being overlooked and minimized. How do you stay intentional just about curating an experience that speaks directly to our needs economically? Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say economically, emotionally,
emotionally, everything.
All of that.
I will tell you, it's because I am a Black woman. Because one of the corporate sponsors that had to pull out this year because of what's going on in this nation about being Black and female, and I was asked, how do you keep going? This is who I am. This is. This show will never change. The name will never change. Our mission is what it is. And how could I overlook who I am and know that it wasn't easy for me, as I grew into who I am. And it's not easy for so many Black women. So it became this platform that we didn't think we were having. We think we're just doing, we're a radio station. We got a stage. We got some artists we can bring. We got some advertisers. We'll do a couple seminars. We formed an advisory committee of women that really started to tell us what the community needed to have and how serious we need to be about what we were doing. And they're still with us. In fact, I brought back so many members that was there in the beginning. We probably stopped having our advisory committee that was formed way in the beginning, about 10 years ago. But for this 30th anniversary, we brought many of them back. And we have been meeting. In fact, we had a meeting last night. And so we talk about what all of our needs, the needs are of the community and what we need to provide and who we need to invite to be a part. As an example, we have a pastors panel. We've never had that, where they're going to talk about, what as a congregation, just as a community, how we move forward. Where do we go from here? Everybody's asking that question. Where do we go from here? So we will have, the clergy to talk to us about that at the expo as well.
Sounds like you guys got us covered from every angle. I want to ask you this, and not to make the conversation political, but we do have to deal with the times that we're in this political climate where we even have concerns. Can we say Black out loud anymore? And so when
we are
right, and that is my point. When I hear right now today's Black Woman Expo so unapologetically, given this political climate, how does that hit differently now, and why is that more important than ever?
Well, I will tell you, you're going back to the original name of the expo. It was called an Expo for Today's Black Woman.
Sure was.
Yes,
I remember.
That was the original name. So we have been the Black Women's Expo for 15 years probably now, because when we transitioned away from the radio station, we had to create our own, company and that whole bit. And I realized that when I meet any woman in this community, any leader, they would say, "You do that Black Women's Expo, don't you?" And I said, "That's what we should call it," because that's what it is. And, one of my bosses always said, in terms of marketing, you got to call it what it is so people know what it is when they hear it. And so that's how we began, So it's the Black Women's Expo. How do we change that? I mean, I don't even know why we need to change that. One of my past corporate sponsors said, we're not asking you to change your name because of what's going on now in this climate. And I said, and we won't. We won't. This is our 30th anniversary, and we are certainly going to keep the name. But I've had people to ask me that knew about some of the DEI pushbacks that may have occurred to not only me, but many events and festivals in this town and around the country. Say, where do you go next year? I'm not sure, but I know that this will never change and will never stop.
Now, Mary, I want to talk to you about food. Is there going to be food there?
Is there going to be food?
Is there going to be food? Yes.
Yes, there's always food. There's
always food.
Yes. Why are you asking that?
Because I'm looking on your website, and on the Black Women's Expo website now, and I see one vendor serving these beverages here, and they look like an assortment of iced teas, and they're really there's a container of all these things, and I'm looking at these, and I'm wondering what other kind of food may be at the Black Women's Expo.
See, one of the things that people don't realize is that the concessions are exclusive to McCormick. You really can't come in there and start serving your own food.
I did not know.
Yeah, the food and beverage is a McCormick exclusivity. So you can sample, and many people who want to get their product out there will come. And we've got so many at the Expo this year that will be sampling their food, but you cannot sell it. The only way you can sell your products and your merchandise like that is if it's manufactured. So you can't put some popcorn in a zip bag, but if you have popcorn that's in a bag that you would buy normally in the grocery stores, that can be sold.
Packaging.
This food, packaged, right, the way it's packaged. But no, we have concessions in the back of the hall that are, run by McCormick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us what else you need to know. That's just good to know. Folks get hungry, and so.
Yeah, but can I bring my own salt and pepper though? I'm just making sure.
And hot sauce.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can bring anything. The one thing that people need to know is that it's affordable. What we in radio, lingo back in the day, we always talked about time spent listening. Well, that's what happens at the Expo. People are spending a lot of time there. I mean, they're going in some seminars. Sat there for 90 minutes, which is most of our sessions, as you know, Ted. And then they'll come out and they'll go to the stage and look at a fashion show. We got fashion shows and dance. Goodman Theater will be there doing a piece. First time, Joffrey Ballet's youth group will be there first time. So all of these things are happening, and you get an opportunity to sit there and watch that, and then you go and run around the exhibit floor and shop, and then you go to the concessions and have lunch. People are spending hours and hours there.
So tell us about the tickets. There are tickets for all 3 days. There are tickets for individual days. Tell us how that works.
Our tickets are for adults, and they're individual tickets that you must buy for each day. Half price at Walgreens, all of our adult tickets leading up to the show and through that weekend. So a ticket normally that was $30 is now $15 at all Walgreens. For those who are living out of state or out of town, and we have many people that come to our show, we found that out through a survey that Nielsen did years back, that we had people coming to the show from like 19 states, far away as Atlanta and Georgia and D.C. and New York. Many of our vendors are from around the country. But you can also buy your tickets on our website, which will take you to Ticket Falcon, but they are full price at $30. And the same thing when you get to McCormick the day off. So it behooves you to go to Walgreens and get those half-price tickets.
I am getting a text from my wife as we speak right now. She's asking me, why aren't I giving away free tickets on this show? So let's do this, because I always do as I'm told. Next Thursday, we will give away at least 10 free tickets to the Women's Expo. So if the listeners listen next Thursday, they can call in, and Atiba and LaDonna will figure out how we're going to give these tickets away. But we will give away at least 10 tickets.
Oh, we're good at that, too.
To the Black Women's Expo.
We got you
next week.
All you have to do, and we will cover those tickets, and all you have to do is provide us with a list of names of who has won, and we will have that at will call.
Okay.
Okay, very well.
What about press
Yeah,
passes,
better.
Mary Green?
Yeah.
Huh?
What about press passes?
We do have press passes, and Chelsea Whittington, our publicist, handles all of the press and the press invites and passes. And on our website, I think you can find how to get to her on there as media and press, and she will provide that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I want to open the phone lines. We got a couple minutes left, 773-591-1690. If anyone wants to call in real quick and speak to Ms. Green or Attorney Ted before we go, give us a call, 773-591-1690. We got about 3.5 minutes left, Mr. London.
I want to say one of the newer things we have this year is a space that from the Learning Academy, Building Blocks, Michelle Redd, is we are providing a space for young people, for kids. So there will be no excuse for a mom who wants to come to the expo and doesn't have a sitter. I mean, she has 3 facilities around the city, so she is way professional and knows what she's doing. We'll be providing childcare, for an hour or whatever, half hour free on our exhibit floor. And so you will see that when you come this year, which is something new.
I'm just curious, do you have like a internship program that, where young people can help with the Women's Black Expo?
We don't have an internship program. We have tried that. We tried to get some of the youth from the summer program this year, but most of them were from out of town or from downstate and could not come and be in the office, which you really need to do.
Yeah.
We've had interns in the past where we have a lot of young people, but what we have more than anything is tons of volunteers that want to be a part of the expo, and we utilize about 60 to 100 of them on the show floor. So, and sometimes they are paid. It depends on the year, but we do provide that opportunity for people to learn how we do what we do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to I want my kids I want some of that to rub off on my children. I want Ted London to rub off on my kids, and I need some Mary Green to rub off on my children so they can go out with a bang. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you.
Tiba, do you have plans, and Miss LaDonna Ray, do you guys have plans on attending Black Women's Expo this year?
Again, I come every year. I think it's
nice.
one. You just can't beat the networking.
Oh, no.
Right.
Let me say this. I'm gonna share some information I probably shouldn't be sharing on the radio here. But a number of my friends, year after year after year after year, they go to the Black Expo to meet ladies.
Yes.
And believe it or not, one of my buddies met his wife there.
Wow.
Well, that makes sense.
One of my buddies. Yeah, they went there a number of years ago. They met there. I think she was an exhibitor there, and he went 4 or 5 friends deep.
Really?
As guys tend to travel when they're looking for ladies, let's say,
especially when they're afraid to come into this women only.
Yeah, they're always afraid, Mary. But anyway, he wasn't afraid on this case, and he went and introduced himself to the lady. She was working there, and they were married until she passed away recently. But he met his wife really at the Black Women Expo. Sure did.
I get that every year. Someone will grab me and remind me that, or tell me about in 2005 they met their husband and they're standing there together. So that's wonderful.
That is wonderful, and I never thought about it that way, Mr. Attorney London. You just gave me a whole new angle, bro.
Yes, indeed.
You're not just going to church.
Good looking out.
Yeah,
Right.
But let me just say, we do have a space for men to go to on the floor. We have the men's den that we started about 5 years ago. So Real Men Cook. So men's den, it was initially just a place where they could relax and maybe just, how you go in department stores and a man is sitting somewhere in a chair while his wife shops. It originally started like that, but now it's a lot more. I mean, there's information on health and wellness. Real Men Cook is in there as well to talk about, I think, prostate cancer. We have shoe shines, barbers. We have all of that, and boutiques where men can purchase some items while they're there. Okay. But it's just a place where they don't have to feel, left out at all.
Poor men. Well, we're coming up on that hour. Ted, make sure, I know I put in the chat the Black Women's Expo website, so you guys can check that out. And also for you, Ted, why don't you tell everybody where to find your office?
Well, you can always call me at 773-721-3333, but this is not the place you're going to call to get those free tickets next week.
No, that's right.
Expo. You're going to have to call WVON during 3:30 and 4 o'clock hour next Thursday, and we're going to be giving away at least 10 tickets to the Black Women's Expo. It's going to be absolutely free for those who win those tickets. So you want to go. It's going to be a great event, as it is every year. I've been there many, many times myself. Happy to be speaking on a couple of occasions there that's coming up, not this Saturday, but the second and the third, Saturday and Sunday. So hope to see you all there. And please find our booth as well if you're there. Say hello to me, get some information. I'm sure we're going to have plenty of candy for you visitors like we do in our office, and it's going to be a great time, and we're going to look forward to meeting you all as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you again next week, Ted.
Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been a wonderful conversation.
Yep, we'll see you at the Black Women's Expo.
I was having a medical procedure, and I wanted to ensure my kids would get my home should something happen to me. I called attorney Ted London. He provided a land trust and power of attorney. Now my kids would not have to go through the probate process.
After the death of my husband, I had to get my affairs in order. I called attorney Ted London. Now my family and home will not have to go through the probate process.
When you need your estate plan done, call attorney London.
773-721-3333.